Right, let's do this then. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Batcave. This is a slightly different subject. It's a bit of an awkward subject for me because it's taken me quite a long while to get my head around exactly why and what the feelings were in the first place anyway, before I got to this point. And also, before I put a video out, I wanted to make sure that I'd fully gripped the situation, because one of those things where people have an opinion, I love to hear guys and girls' opinion out there. I needed to know and make sure that in my head that I was really secure with the way that I felt and the way that I am feeling before I put it out as an open discussion to everyone else. But let's get straight into it. So, you will know, if you've been following us for a while now, that my first baby is due in December. John's is due in February. Fantastic. We've been going through this journey slightly, one step followed by his step, followed by my step, followed by his step. So we've been really good support network for each other. But one thing quite recently that's been really playing on my mind, we just recently did a podcast, and everybody's different. And if I can kind of potentially help 1% of guys and girls out there, then I'm going to give my opinion. Because when me and John were asked about being excited for the children and what this, that and the other, literally all John said was, I can't wait, I'm so excited. There was no even inkling of a negativity or a worry or anything whatsoever. And I was like, dude, I've been like this and this over the last few months. It's just like nothing. It's just like, I'm just not worried about it. So maybe everybody's different, or maybe he's just putting a good front on it. I don't know. But if there's people out there who may potentially feel like I did, or I do to a certain degree, and you don't really know why, or you're not the type of person who sits down and talks to yourself or tries to unravel situations or has an open conversation with your partner, then it's something that could potentially lead to a real catastrophic meltdown mentally if you're not careful. And I really want to just offer my experience at this stage. I'm not even a dad yet, I'm like 2 months out, but especially when we're talking a lot more about mental health nowadays, it's a huge subject. I like the fact that people are being encouraged to talk, and the same with guys. Guys don't bloody talk. We just turn around and put a front on everything all the time, and I think that's one of the biggest weaknesses around, is that guys who can't be open and honest. So let's go back to where this whole idea of a video came from. Carly got asked a few weeks back from somebody who's just found out that they're pregnant and felt wrong because they didn't react how they thought they should. So their question was, when you first found out, and you and Leon found out that you were pregnant, were you jumping around excited, waving your phone around and the pee test and all the rest of it, because she worried, because she just panicked and didn't really feel excited to start with? And I was like, geez, what is the fucking world coming to? Normally that idealism that we see, this dream that everybody puts out there of, oh my God, it's the best news in the world. There's a huge story behind that before that gets to that point. So if I ever made anyone feel like that, then I apologize. But trust me, the first thought that went through my head when we found out that we were having a baby, first of all, I giggled a little bit. It was a nervous, involuntary laugh that just came out. And then utter terror. I absolutely shit myself. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was just instant excitement. I've always wanted to be a dad. I know I've always wanted to be a father and have children. But it doesn't matter who you are, at what stage you are in your life, you will shit yourself. No two ways about it, unless even if you've been doing IVF and you've struggled to get pregnant for years and years and years, when it actually happens, everything changes. I worried about money. I worried about whether our house was big enough, how I was going to be as a father. Oh my God, this little creature's going to depend on me for the foreseeable future. I still want to go on holidays. I still want to buy this. I still want to do that. All the selfish indulgences and the individual things come in and the worries. And that all happened. We had a conversation. We freaked out. We were excited. We were scared. We were everything. Carly was worried about her body and aesthetics and her image and her work. Everything. All of that happened in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Then we got to the point where we were like, we just want to get to the first scan. Got to the first scan, amazing, a lot of the worries go. But this is where, the more the baby grew, the more I kind of had these weird feelings and worries and that kind of stuff. So fast forward to when baby starts to kick, right? So at this point, it had already been really weird because I'm a guy. I want to be there. I want to feel everything. I want to know what's going on. There is nothing harder for a bloke than watching your wife or your partner or your loved one going through this and you are completely, you can't do anything. You are no help to that person. Their body is changing, their emotions are changing, their hormones are all over the place. You have to literally just be a bystander. You want to help, you want to say the right things, do the right things, but that person is going through it and you're just kind of coming along. And you always feel a bit like a loose part. So if you do feel like that, then it's totally normal. Just be there, support, go to the shop when she wants the random stuff and the cravings and stuff. Just be there, you're doing a good job regardless. But when baby started to kick, right, first time I was so bloody excited, right? Could not wait to feel it, have the tingles and have that moment. And it was amazing, you know, once it happened, it was great. 4 or 5 times happened, right? This is where the main subject, guys, it's taken me 5 minutes to get to this. The main subject of my issue came in. So after baby kicked a few times, we got used to it, you could then see visible kicks and everything like that. I then started to withdraw. So it got to the point where Carly was like, do you want to feel baby kick? I was like, yeah, I'm all right, blah, blah. A few times, and then in the end, she turned around and was like, I don't feel like you're wanting to connect with the baby. I'm not the type of guy who wants to hold the bump, and I want to talk to baby and communicate to this bump on my wife and everything like that. And she just said to me, she was like, are you all right? You know, what is wrong? Is it me? Is it you want to be more involved, less involved? Is it you're now worried about being a dad? And this was the point where I didn't really have an answer. I kind of just was like, I don't really know, just not asked, you know, keeps kicking, it kicks every day. Woo. And I kind of just covered it up, went away and had a chat with myself. And what I kind of realized is, without trying to, I got to this point, we're like 7 months in now. I got to the point where every time I was looking at Carly and spending time with Carly, we'd go for a meal, we'd go for a walk together with just the dog, and every single time I was kind of subconsciously realizing that this is all going to be very different when little one arrives. I'm still going to give just as much of my love as I can to Carly and us together as a relationship, but I found myself not really wanting to pay overly large amounts of attention to this baby before it got there. And it sounds really weird and a bit twisted, but it was like, we went to the Lake Districts, for instance, and I did not even think about baby unless I saw a bump. I didn't think about the things we had to buy, I didn't think about the things that we had to do and prepare for baby. I literally just loved being with her as a couple, being in a spa, hanging out, being proper indulgent in our relationship and just chilling, going for a walk, not really having to worry about anything. And I kind of got to the conclusion that I'm not depressed, I'm not worried about being a dad, there's no angst or anything like that there. I'm totally ready to be a dad, but I got to the point where I don't want to be a dad before I have to be a dad physically. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've got 2.5 months now, max, hopefully. If it's any more than that, oh gosh, it's gonna have to be induced, it's gonna be crazy. Where I've just got my wife, and it's just us, and this sounds so selfish, but it's so fucking important in my opinion to just rinse every drop of life that you get. You know, I cannot wait to be a dad, but for every moment and every minute and 2 minutes, 5 minutes that I feel like I'm spending all of my time, if I haven't seen Carly all day, it feels wrong to me to come home and I'm just like, baby, 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 baby. I'm like, I want to see my wife, because in a few months' time, that is going to be the process. You know, you're going to love each other and the dynamics are going to change and everything, but this little thing is going to be the subject of a lot of my focus, I guess, and love for a long while. And it's something that we'll figure out, and it'll all be amazing, I'm sure, and I'll probably be thinking, what a bloody idiot. But I just kind of got to the point where I realized that for all the time that I was putting into bump, that isn't there yet. I've had all the firsts and all the new stuff and everything like that. I now go, right, okay, so that's happened, it's great, I've filed it, I will remember it for the rest of my life, it's amazing, and a lot more things are gonna come when baby arrives, but I've only got 2 months to have a wife left, essentially, before we're a family. And if you're not in that position in your life right now, you might think that's a really weird, twisted thing to say, but trust me, if you're a guy out there and you're feeling a little bit distant from baby, but you know that you can't wait and everything like that, maybe ask yourself if that's why. And if you're a female out there and you're holding, you know, you're building this incredible thing inside, you're cooking in the oven, and you feel like your husband or your partner's a little bit distant, ask them the question. Because for me, I'm at a point where I'm really enjoying my marriage. I love my wife to bits, and I love spending time with just her and with the dog. And I am ready to be a dad, but I'm just kind of going, you know, it's going to happen in a couple of months' time. I'm not going to wish my life away for when baby arrives, you know, because I feel like so many people turn around and obsess purely about as soon as they find out they're pregnant, all their thoughts go forward into the future, into that 9 months, 10 months later when little one's there. And there's this beautiful time in between where you still get to go through this as a couple, you still get to be a couple, you still get to have a relationship or a marriage and all that kind of fun stuff as well. And I just don't want anyone to lose that, you know. Don't live for tomorrow or live for this next incredible event that's going to happen. Still appreciate what you have and really rinse those moments, those lasts essentially for a little while before things change, because that's what I thought. I thought I was going insane. I thought I was like getting depressed and oh my God, I'm regretting I don't want to have a child. But it wasn't. It was just the fact that I still want to have my wife as just my wife until little one arrives, and then the chaos begins and it's just a whole new world. So yeah, it's a bit of a random subject and I don't know whether it helps anyone or not, but if it doesn't, then fair dues. You probably clicked off after about 30 seconds, that's absolutely fine. But if it resonates with anyone, it makes any sense, then amazing. But yeah, it's just a subject that was on my head, and I was just like, we talk about mental health and all this kind of stuff all the time, and the last thing I want is to have people out there, guys and girls alike, who could benefit from this kind of conversation or experience, and I don't put it out there because I'm worried about people judging me. You know, I'm a strong person, I can take anyone's shit. I'm happy with myself and I'm comfortable with myself, as I've clearly just done this video. But there's some people out there who might not know how to break situations down in the way that they feel and their thought processes and all that kind of stuff. So, it's gone now. Yeah, I hope it helps, guys. And if you've got any more experience or any, I felt like this, or I do feel like that, or my husband's like this, or whatever it may well be, guys and girls alike, share it below, because this is going to be one hell of a freaking journey for all of us. I love you all, and I'll speak to you in the next one.